Um, you're a pharmacist. What kind of an education does a pharmacist have to have before he can actually go out and become a pharmacist presently?
Well, right now, presently, it's a 6-year program, and after the completion of the pharmacy program, they have a Pharm D program, a Pharm D degree.
And that right now is 6, and I heard it's about to be elevated to a 7th year. Is that true?
That's the rumor has it that they will be increasing it for an extra year soon. Yeah.
Okay, and I, being a former pharmacist and a pediatrician, realize that most doctors only get a year of pharmacology in medical school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's adequate to teach you the conceptual value of the drugs, but not quite the feel of everything about pharmacology and pharmacy complete. We hope they keep their education ongoing so they get the standards to a level that everybody's comfortable with. But one of the biggest flaws is most doctors don't know the cost of the medication. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Cost is not something that is particularly on the physician's mind when they're prescribing.
And 10 years ago, 20% of all healthcare dollar went to physician fees. Today it's 9%. Yet the cost of health insurance has not gone down. It's gone up. And one of the biggest factors we think is the drug companies are getting a lot more money out of the healthcare dollar. Maybe it's justified, maybe it's not justified, but it seems to be true. Is that seems to be the case?
Well, in the United States, drug companies are able to really charge at will for their product. But outside of the U.S., there are more strict regulations that they're not able to charge what they want. There's more regulations involved.
And actually, you don't make a markup that you decide. It's kind of like restricted. And most of them, it's just a small filling fee. Is that true?
Absolutely. The most of prescriptions filled today, I say maybe 90% or higher, are filled by insurances. So really, the pharmacist has no say in what the markup is. As long as you agree to a certain markup that's issued by the insurance companies.
Basically, it's a filling fee. What's the average filling fee that's usually given to a pharmacist?
They usually range from $1.25 to $3.50.
So in other words, if someone gets a $200 prescription for some cholesterol-lowering drug, you have to work on a $2.50 markup.
Right.
Maybe you get a little lucky and you can make a little bit on the wholesale end if you're lucky.
Absolutely.
But then again, you have to pay it back to the wholesale. I hear sometimes within 10 days. Is that true?
Usually 10 to 15 days.
Yeah. You don't get paid in 10 to 15 days by insurance companies. Is that true?
Usually they take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks.
It can be even longer in some particular plans.
Well, when there's a dispute, yes.
So in other words, you're actually giving them free, interest-free of 20 to 30 days many times, which makes it tough for the average small pharmacy to survive today. Is that true?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where a chain could probably bank it and roll it a little bit more, so you have a terrible disadvantage. Also, chains may be negotiated a different situation that you may not be privy to.
I'm sure there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know about with chain stores, that they're able to negotiate better pricing and longer time to pay or whatever.
Because if you go to a chain and you have the same pharmacist every time you go there, he knows you, he knows your problems in your past, that's fine. It's like going to a local pharmacy. But that usually is not the case in these big chains that have big turnover of help. And when you go to a local store, you probably know most of your clientele that come on a regular basis. And if there's a question raised, because they're going to a couple of doctors, you're probably on the phone and say, are you aware that the other doctor wrote for this, you're running for this, and there might be some drug interaction, or you might know that before that someone else gave it to her and she didn't tell you, or he didn't tell you, and there could have been a problem that you try to look for the best interests of your clientele. Is that true?
Sure. Well, I work in the community setting. I've been working at the Narrows Pharmacy for about 18 years now. That's a small neighborhood store in Brooklyn, New York, in Bay Ridge. And we pretty much know all of our customers. They're not only customers, but most of them are friends of ours. And they became friends of ours throughout the years. And we know their their situation, their health situation. And for the most part, if there is something that we seem that is out of line, or there are multiple doctors or multiple drug polypharmacy involved, we always give a shout out to the physician to make sure that they're aware of what's going on if we see a potential problem, which I'm sure chains have programs in their computers that may red flag situations like this, and I would hope that they take the necessary precautions as well.
If a patient told you, please give the doctor a call for a prescription, you would do it all the time. Is that true?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
But chains are too busy, and they give attitudes to patients many times. Oh, I tell the doctor to call me. They don't give you a number. They give you a general number. We have to hit 1 for this, 2 for that, put in a hold for 20 minutes. And it's sort of like a little bit unfair. They could give us a direct number, but usually a local pharmacy usually gets you very quickly. We're not saying you can't get good care in a chain, but I always say if you know the person you're going to deal with and knows you for an extended period of time, you're probably a little better off. That means if you go to a chain, same person behind the counter on a regular basis, it's sort of like a little pharmacy that you've been going to for years. But if you see a different person every time, I get a little nervous. I like dealing with people I know on a regular basis. Is that true?
Well, that's all depends on preference. We can't dictate to everyone where they should go or not to go. We offer our own personal care, and that's the way we like to project ourselves. That we do care for the individuals, and we're there to help them, if anything. What the chains do is basically up to them, and we can't dictate to them what should be done.
But basically, a good policy is if you know the person, you go to a doctor on a regular basis, and you see the help in this office is about the same every time, you're more comfortable. They know your information. They're going to secure it. They're not going to discuss you amongst the world. We try to keep protected with all these rules with HIPAA, which I thought was totally unnecessary, because if you don't trust a person keeping your medical information private, why are you going to that doctor, that pharmacist, that hospital, if you felt they weren't going to protect your information without you being told first that we're going to share it in any other way? Is that a reasonable thought?
It is, but I'm sure that there's many services out there that want your information, and they try to extract it from the provider one way or another. So that's why they probably issue these HIPAA laws, to keep everyone in check, so that your information does remain private.